It off, man. OrsonandWatt show, man. So, how y'all doing though during this hard time?
We're good. We're good.
Are we live?
Yeah. Uncut edited, baby. You know how we do out here. Yeah. So everybody's good, man. On your side?
Yeah, man. Everybody's hanging.
That's what's up. Okay. Cool. We need
Everything's good on my end. We got a guest today. When we have an episode about the UFC. We got to bring in the resident UFC expert, Mr. Kaleem. What's going on, my man?
Brother, I'm good. I'm hanging in.
you know. Yeah, man. Interesting day today, man. UFC 249. After all the, controversy, back and forth, we're going to have it on a private island. We're going to do this. I'm not having it.
Great. So crazy. Private island. That's really, really crazy.
So, it's going down tonight. And pretty interesting card on deck. So, I mean, a lot of matches, it's kind of like you can't get up at all tonight. There's no popcorn breaks tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Take your pisses and your breaks beforehand. Everything comes with you.
Absolutely.
But we haven't had sports, so just seeing something will be.
We had sports. We've had sports. Mr. Man's been running the world.
It's really the only sport.
Running the world.
I mean, there's golf, but who wants to watch golf right now?
Right. Exactly. Nobody wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, man, this card is. I was obviously everyone was really disappointed when Khabib fell out or whatever, but this is actually a crazier fight than the Khabib fight would be.
Oh yeah, the Ferguson.
Yeah, because the Khabib fight would be like Khabib would try to control the chaos. That's how I describe it. Like Tony Ferguson is like chaos, and Khabib is about controlling the chaos. But Justin Gaethje, the guy who's fighting Tony Ferguson tonight, is also about chaos, right? So what you're going to see is a lot of chaos, and that's fun. Chaos is fun in the octagon, So, but it also means anything can happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? Literally anything can happen because these guys are going to exchange. I don't know if you've ever watched Justin Gaethje fight. Have either of you watched Justin Gaethje fight?
One time.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
So he came from a wrestling background. So he's a guy he's hard to take down and hold down. So most of his fights end up standing, right? And he uses a combination of, classic Western boxing, and he has these incredible leg kicks. Some of the best leg kicks I've ever in my whole life, which he mixes in, and it makes it harder to defend his punches because you're worrying about your legs constantly, right? Yeah. And what Justin Gaethje always does is he walks forward and he crowds his opponent with his hands up like this in front of his face. But he agrees to get hit, and he creates wars, basically, And then he drowns the person through the war. Is how he does it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gonna be a good one tonight. And the questions I got leading into this, I'll pick Khabib into it as well. One, it's unfortunate that he's unable to participate in the event. Ferguson, Khabib's what we wanted, but this matchup is gonna draw because a lot of things can happen out of this fight. The streak of Tony Ferguson's can end tonight, and it kind of gives Khabib a slide in terms of who he's supposed to fight, and it's more on the Khabib. I call this title reign by Khabib right now. Anything that's happening right now in terms of title reigns is kind of like wasted, but you get to relax. It's relaxed, wasted energy because you got a title that you're not defending, and now if this matchup ends tonight, Guthrie winning, now that just switches everything up. Now, who is your next opponent? Who's really gonna get the next opportunity at Khabib? It may not even be the person that fights tonight. It might not even be these two tonight.
Yeah, I mean, It probably will. I'm guessing it will be because they're going to put on a crazy performance. The problem is if it's like a crazy war and it's like a draw or it's a really close fight, you know, then it might not be them who fights Khabib next. But if somebody wins like in convincing fashion, then they're probably fighting Khabib, you know. Yeah, man, I think this is like one of the best main events. Like if you want to watch like a crazy fight, this is definitely the main event to watch. Like crazier than I don't even know if I could pick a fight that's as crazy as that. Maybe like Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. That's a really good fight.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. You know, there's the fact that we know Nate. Stand up guy, like you said, man. He wants to win that fight standing. He wants to stay up standing. Unfortunately for him, he was taking too much hits.
He's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Jorge's got like Jorge was trying to box Canelo. You know.
Let me ask you this.
These dudes don't play. Like,
let me ask you this. Talk about the news that came out in the last 24 hours regarding Ronaldo Souza, who was supposed to fight, but tested positive for the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really not good. Well, he's probably in Brazil, coming from Brazil.
So according to ESPN,
in the U.S. already.
Right, I'm going to CNN right here. Ronaldo Souza will not be in the UFC 249 preliminary card Saturday after testing positive for the coronavirus. Souza was to fight Uriah Hall in a middleweight bout. In addition, his two cornermen also tested positive for the virus, according to the UFC. The UFC's medical team examined Souza and the two cornermen and found them to be currently asymptomatic or not exhibiting the common symptoms of COVID-19, UFC said in a statement on its website.
Yeah.
As per UFC health and safety protocol, all three men have left the host hotel and will be self-isolating off premises. The UFC had followed all the health and safety protocols, including the
current customers a 15% credit on their motorcycle policies with the Geico Get Back. Because we're committed for the long haul, credit lasts the full policy term.
Guys, what are your thoughts on that?
Geico Get Back.
My fault. Hold on a
Focus
second.
on the road ahead.
I'm just over here with my card. What I think of it honestly,
the fair.
It sucks. It sucks for the UFC, even though they're gonna continue to fight. But I mean, realistically, how can I say this? And it's not to throw anything on this epidemic, but it's kind of like shit's gonna go on. It's unfortunate that this guy can't fight tonight because it is. I hope he gets well. Quarantine to the best of his abilities. But we could kind of assume in a situation now in sports in the world that this type of stuff is going to happen to people. They're randomly going to see somebody, somebody's going to have it. Somebody's going to get it. We don't know how long this is going to continue. People are gonna have to participate and go on it. You know what I'm saying? Now there's no type of fighters union or nothing. So there's really nothing the fighters can do. It's either fight or, don't get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of understood. So it's a sad situation for him, man. I mean, regardless, what can Dana White do? The thing to do for everybody is don't have nothing at all. But for a guy that runs his own organization, his own business,
yeah,
you kind of like, okay, well, this guy, we're gonna wish him well. We're gonna try to do the best for him to get back, but we gotta go. We gotta go.
The UFC has been very much in a very fast-paced moving situation where they had so much momentum going, right? And their momentum escalated so quickly, so fast, right? Rising to arguably the top fighting sport in the world, if not the top fighting sport in the world, into actually one of the top sports in the world. Obviously, this pandemic slows things down, so if I'm Dana White, where I can understand, and I don't necessarily agree with running these events, is the idea that we need to keep the momentum going. Now, I spoke with Kaleem a couple days ago, And you brought up a very good point, and I'd like you to share it on the show with regards to the making this a pay-per-view event versus a free event.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of ways you could go with it. I guess the key is that this is a really sensitive time, right? So how you act during this time is going to be judged in a way that you weren't judged before, in a sense, right? So if you're really greedy at this time, people will remember that about you, whereas they maybe wouldn't have remembered it about you before, a few years ago, right? So to me, when I think about the UFC and I think about building brands, I think that these times are always opportunities to live a reputation that you want for yourself, because it's when you can have the most impact with that reputation. It's when you can build that thing fastest, and help people, right? So to me, there's two ways you go with this. I think you either go, and I'm leaning one way. I think you either make a super fight that's free for everyone, right? As a way of saying we're giving back to all the people who are stuck in their homes and are bored, right? That's a brand. That's brand, right? Or instead, you do a super fight and it's a pay-per-view. But in that pay-per-view, everything after break even goes to funding the hospitals and for the coronavirus fight and all this stuff, right? So you have to create some sort of a charitable contribution that's significant, and where the event is kind of fostering this good energy in a sense. And I think that just doing a pay-per-view without really making it about the situation it could be a little insensitive, right?
Right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, I agree with you. Like, and even just a super fight or all these other ones, like, and it sucks because all these fighters don't get paid the same. The scale is like ridiculously terrible. So so when you talk super fight,
sorry, part of that payment is based on those crowd sales.
Hell yeah, their use part. Definitely, because it's like you don't see them like you see them. They probably got shirts and stuff, but it's USC license, so it's like if you're not selling it through there, then you're not really, you're not really touching nothing.
Yeah, I mean the big gates, just the ticket sales from the big gates. A big gate's going to do 10 million. 10 million just for the tickets. Then all the food, merchandise, and everything that goes around that. Right? Advertising, right? Pay-per-view, and you layer it on. So the question is, right, during a time like this, are you willing to strategically reduce your profits in a way that makes you a lot more money over the next 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, and I mean, you see a guy like, I'm a WWE guy. You see a guy like Vince McMahon. At the end of the day, he threw it because it's WrestleMania. You have to throw your spectacle. Everybody's like, don't throw WrestleMania. Don't. Vince McMahon has had 35, 36 years of just throwing this one certain event. You think anything was gonna stop him? And I mean, people call it greedy, but at the same point, Vince McMahon tried to get it for free, tried to get the viewers to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of took an extra nail in the coffin with sports not being able to be played. So you already lost money on top of that. On top of that, XFL, you lost that, and now you're getting sued by Andrew Luck's father. And then you show the event, you took losses, but I mean, to engage us and people that want to watch sports, man, you got to sacrifice, man. He took that sacrifice, man. And hey, tomorrow he's having his event. He's having the main events on the roof. Have y'all seen the setup for Money in the Bank? Look it up when y'all can. Hey, yo, Vince McMahon, whatever you guys and people say about him, man, that guy right there, man. Dana,
Dana's just trying to be the modern day Vince McMahon.
He's trying to be him. He's trying to be him, and this is a way that you can potentially, do your thing, like you said. Do something like that, something that can expand, get people to watch, really, even if they're not really watching, just to be on the hype train, like, because everybody else is on the hype train. You watch UFC, Khalid, so you're super hyped for this event tonight. I'm gonna watch a lot of the fight because I'm missing sports. But ultimately, if it was a given night, I would probably watch 2 of these fights. So I'm on the hype train. So you got to get more people on the hype train. Like, this is extreme fighting. It's fighting. People love watching fighting. People probably don't want to fight. Violence. They don't want to get in trouble. But shit, we'll watch this on TV. Come on. You're absolutely right. I agree with that. Spot on.
Very good points by everybody. And people just enjoy the energy of a great bout. Speaking of the great bouts, let's just do a quick summary of some of the other fights going on.
Definitely. I got Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. According to CBS Sports, the odds, Henry Cejudo's at -240. Dominic Cruz is at +200. We know the story of Cejudo. I mean, we know who he's gonna bring to the fight tonight. This is a fight pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, and I don't know, man. I can swing the other way. I'm gonna go Dominic.
Yeah, so I think Cejudo hasn't. I don't think he's fought anybody who's the style of Dominic Cruz, right? So basically, Cejudo is a gold medal Olympian in wrestling, in freestyle wrestling, right? So people aren't really trying to like grapple him too much, right? They're not trying to like take him down and like do that because it's just a lot of work to take somebody like that down and hold them down, right?
Exactly.
So people usually try to beat him on the feet, and they usually do it by they usually try to do it by coming forward. They come forward on him, right? Yeah. And when most of your opponents do that, it gets easy for him to land his shots, basically, and then finish the fight however he wants, right? Because Cejudo is very much boxing and wrestling. A really, really nice, clean combination of boxing and wrestling. He uses kicks and things, but it's really the boxing and wrestling. Dominic Cruz is a stick and move type of guy. He's a decision fighter, right? So what he does, he's a Mayweather. He's a Mayweather. Before he lost, he was like the Mayweather, of MMA, because he would win on rounds. Every time, unavoidable, same thing would happen, right? And so what you're going to see is that Cejudo's going to have a difficult time getting his hands on Dominic Cruz if he doesn't frustrate Cruz.
Yes.
If he doesn't make Cruz overextend, he's going to have a difficult time hitting him. He's going to be chasing him a lot, you'll see. So to me, I actually think that based on the odds here, you see these odds. Mm-hmm. They're -240. Cejudo's -240 here. And Cruz is an underdog. That's a good bet on Cruz.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
To me, this is a 50-50 fight where Cruz is being labeled as the underdog and Cejudo is being labeled as the favorite by the odds. So if I had to pick, I would say Cruz by decision, 5 rounds, 3-2.
I'm gonna go Cruz tonight too, man. And I just see, and just based on, who those last few fights and like I said, everything going on with him. This is just something I feel like he'll come in for. Like you said, he'll fight to the max, but I feel like Cruz will have the control in this fight, and he will have to fight at Cruz's pace. And it'll be a good one, though. And hey, if you're better, go bet on that, man. I like the odds. As soon as I seen it, I said, "Ooh, yep, Cruz."
Yeah.
Because
you know how happy DraftKings are right now.
Oh, it's crazy right now. I'm on DraftKings right now today, and it's so crazy. I haven't been on it in a month and a half since this happened. I literally deleted the app, but I went on the internet today. And I seen that, they got all types of stuff, man. The Madden, they got the Madden. People paying Madden. You can win money off people playing Madden.
We can win it off of Chopped right now.
Off what?
You can play FanDuel on Chopped right now.
Yeah. It's crazy. You can play FanDuel and FanDuel, DraftKings, dog. This is what they're doing. I mean, honestly, I don't like it. You know, I'm missing the prime sports that I tend to bet on. You know, it sucks, but I mean, it's good for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I went on it today, and it looks like business is still running. You know, and this is the crazy thing. Betting and gambling. We think 20 million people lost furloughed their jobs or don't have jobs. We'll say it like that. And the fact that people are still gambling. I mean, people are getting stimulus checks or whatnot or whatever the case is. You know, people are still working, and people are spending. Gambling is like, and it goes down, some people when they're in situations like this, people go down to the route, what I'm saying, of, a lot of alcohol, what I'm saying, a lot of inside partying, with social distancing, man, what more can you do? But it's crazy, like, and then you say, Josh, you bet on stuff from what you said, and then political stuff, and then you could bet on, TV shows they got bets on, and it's just like, props and stuff like that. It's like Massachusetts. Why aren't you on this? Like, I'm so happy to be on the borderline of Rhode Island and Massachusetts because I can just jump to Rhode Island and be like, boom. When it opens back up, I'm like, boom, I'm there. It's crazy. Like, gotta get on this.
I'm just laughing because I'm imagining the thought of some like FanDuel executives in like in a boardroom going, all right, we don't have any sports right now.
Right.
How about Chopped? Like this guy's way of thinking, right?
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you ultimately think about it, and I've been a cook for about 2 years now, and it's like a sport. You know what I'm saying? And Chopped is like a sport. When you go in a competition, it's like a sport. It's a competition. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to strategize. You got to strategize. You got to strategize who you play. Right. Who you competing against. You know what I'm saying? You got to read minds. It's deadly. I mean, it's competition. Why not be on DraftKings?
Guys, I'm just going to let y'all know that even the prelims to this fight are like a main event. The prelims to this card are a main event. It's crazy. You got Anthony Pettis versus Donald Cerrone.
Yes, Donald Cerrone. I mean, this is...
Cowboy Pettis is on the prelims.
That's crazy. That's
what you got Alexei Oleinik versus Fabricio Verdum.
Who do you like, Cerrone versus Pettis?
Yeah, I want to see that. Donald Cerrone versus
who do you like?
What's up, baby? What's up?
Who do you like in that fight?
Oh, I like Pettis.
You like Pettis? You like Pettis? You like Pettis?
No, because dude, Donald keeps saying things like he doesn't want to fight or something.
He's just coming off that loss against McGregor where he got his ass kicked.
You know what it is?
Dude, it was a horrible loss. It was like the worst loss ever, dude.
It was a terrible loss. But this is one thing about Cerrone, and I mean, it may go down tonight as him losing, but the persona and who he is, I would ride with that over being 0-16 in my last 16 fights or whatever the case is with him ever, because he's the definition to me of a UFC fighter. You know, win or lose, you can go in there. And it was incredible because a few years back, he had a good fight, and they was had a biography of him and his son. He was in his crib, on the barn with his son, and just cherishing that good stuff, and then going into the ring and also having your son after a matchup, just being in there, the atmosphere, like this is what Daddy does, and that guy right there wears the S on his chest every time. I mean, it's ugly. I mean, the last fight was ugly as hell. I'm sitting there like, what the hell was going on? I would have thought he would have put up a way better. Everybody did a way better fight. Even a minute more in the ring. Saying is doing something. But I mean, tonight for him, it's more just staying up.
Yeah,
just stay up for his persona to stay up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to.
Honestly, if you let Donald get into the fight and get comfortable, that's where he's a problem. What Conor does, Conor knows Donald, and so what he did is he didn't give Donald any time to get comfortable.
Yeah.
He ran in immediately. He dashed in the moment the ref said go. He dashed forward, and it from the first second of that fight, Donald was out of it. You know, so I think the question is: does Anthony Pettis realize this weakness and realize where Donald's strength is, which is more as he warms up in the later rounds, round 3, 4.
Isn't Pettis coming off a loss too, or I'm not mistaken? Am I mistaken wrong? Did he lose his last fight, or am I bugging?
I know Pettis lost a fight versus.
Did he lose to Diaz or no? Or am I tripping?
No, but Pettis beat Wonderboy. Pettis beat Wonderboy Thompson.
No, absolutely no. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of Pettis of who the last time I see him fight. I'm trying to think of it. I'm not too.
He beat Carlos Diego Ferreira. He was defeated by Carlos Diego Ferreira by submission on January 18th at UFC 246.
Yeah, so he lost by submission.
Okay, that's
round
okay.
2.
That's why I thought it was Diaz. I don't know why. Yeah. I mean, either or, both of these guys got something in there to prove. I mean, and then being on the
Cowboy win this fight?
Being on the prelim card is like
Cowboy wins this fight. Honestly, it's a difficult fight for Cowboy to win, to be honest with you. But I think Cowboy wins this fight in the later rounds, right? In the later rounds, either by decision or in the later rounds with like a submission or something. That's how I would see it.
So you said that's how he wins. So you're still going with Pettis?
I'm going with Pettis, yeah.
And who you gonna go with, Josh?
You know what? I thought Cowboy got his ass whooped and he needs a win. I think he should win this fight, but I like to make things creative. Next dinner on me. I'll take Cowboy.
Okay.
All right, so we both
dinner. Write it down.
All right, so we both aiming. I'm gonna take. Damn, Josh. Damn. I'm gonna stay Pettis. Make it. I'm gonna stay Pettis.
I'll be the outlier.
Shout out to Cowboy though. Cowboy gonna come out there, dog. You know, ain't no telling.
He also has the best nickname. I mean, is there a better nickname in the UFC than Cowboy?
No, it's
a really good nickname.
Classic nickname.
Is there any other nickname that's better than that? I mean, Anderson the Spider Silva is pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of good nicknames, but.
What's your favorite nickname in all the UFC?
Yeah. So what about this? How about
who's your favorite nickname in the UFC history?
What?
What's your favorite nickname in UFC history?
Oh, Luke likes John Bones Jones.
John Bones Jones. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. You got one there? You got there one, Taquan?
Oh, man.
You can go boxing too.
Boxing? Come on, man. Marvin Hagler.
Ooh.
I don't know. It sounds dope. But Khalid, man, you know, definitely some more. Let's get into some more matches on this card, man.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was looking down and I'm seeing here Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho. That's the main card.
That's the main card. Yep, I see it.
Versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck.
Dude, I lost so much respect for Francis Ngannou when they had that boring fight of nothing.
Dude, but I'm gonna be honest here.
You remember that fight when there was like literally nothing?
Both these guys have, dude. Jairzinho has a ton of power. So this is gonna be a stand-up fight.
Yeah, of course.
It's gonna be a stand-up fight, and I'm hoping that Ngannou is in the flow state and not in the Derek Lewis state. You understand?
Hey, yo, oh man.
No, because the problem is it's a similar matchup in the sense that they both have power.
Yeah.
And so everyone's waiting to counter each other. No one wants to throw the first punch. They don't want to get countered. And that creates a boring fight. So Francis needs to push it. Francis needs to push it on this guy. You know? Mm-hmm. I think. And get him out of there early. Because this guy is not...
Imagine a heavyweight that was like Conor McGregor that would just run forward.
I mean, Fabricio Verdum has done crazy things like that.
That's awesome.
He's literally run forward and thrown a flying side kick as his first move in the fight.
Live or die. Live or die. Do or die, man.
Who do you like in the fight tonight?
What?
Who do you like in the Ngannou fight?
So, to be fair, I haven't watched Jairzinho as much. What I have watched is he's got incredible knockout power. Incredible knockout power. And he's technical with his punching. So I think that it's actually a 50-50 toss-up in this fight. But I'm going to go with Ngannou. Because when I go with 50-50 toss-up, I go with pure power. I go with who can put away the other guy with one shot. Where if he lands something, it's over. And that's Ngannou. You can't bet against that. Unless the other guy gives you a reason to doubt that. Like, if the other guy has an amazing jiu-jitsu game or wrestling game, then I'm starting to doubt it, like Stipe Miocic, right? But if he's more of a stand-up fighter, right? I'm like, I don't like the idea of you standing for 3 rounds with Ngannou. That's a really bad idea. You got to be wrestling with Ngannou a fair amount.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go Ngannou based on, you know, like you had stated, Khalid, just like simply terms of just me watching. I'm gonna go Francis. Maybe he does have the switch on tonight. Hopefully he does got the switch on tonight. Should be a fight that he wins. But don't underestimate, you know, the power of another opponent, especially in the heavyweight division. You can never underestimate the heavyweight division. On any given night, somebody can win. This is what I say about the heavyweight division. Every heavyweight division possible. It's any man's game for the taking, you know. Power can meet power, but at the end of the day, it's about who's more strategic in the battle. If these both fighters and they're both standing up and it's gonna go a few rounds, you know, round by round, you know, just gotta exert energy. I mean, it's gonna be an awesome fight, I feel, you know. Yeah. But I'll go Francis.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I watched I listened to a podcast about Buddy Cianci in Providence, and he had this great scene where he's in this debate, and everybody is asked about the topic of abortion, and everybody says pro-life, and he says pro-choice, and he gets all these voters, and then after he says, I just knew nothing about the topic. I just went with the view that everybody had that didn't have. So I'm going to take the guy who's going against. I'll take Rosenstrike because everybody else went one way, and I like going the other way. So
that's
I'm
you.
Take a look at Buddy right there. I know a lot more about Ngannou. I like a good KO, and I like somebody who can push it on Ngannou. So I'm going to take the Rosenstruck. I'm going to take a lesson from Buddy. And write these predictions down so we can take somebody. So we have a count on at the end of how we do prediction-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Can someone write them down?
Okay.
You got that, Taquan?
Yep, so, boom.
And then we can put them up on the page how people did.
Hold on, so I went.
Hilarious.
Dude, I want to win some dinner, dude. I want some food, dude. I'm probably going to get smacked, though, because I go in. So you got it all right?
Hold on, Josh.
Ooh. And then I got another fight I got to ask you guys about once he's done writing it all down.
And you are going.
There's a couple of.
Who's up in the
Wait. We gotta talk about Greg Hardy for a second.
We are. No, we're gonna get to him because it's pretty interesting where that story's gonna go. And who do we have for the Ferguson fight? Because we talked about 3 fights. So Ferguson, get there. Who y'all having at?
I'm gonna pick Tony Ferguson by submission.
Ooh, okay. You gotta pick. You want to do plus how it's done.
Yeah, but that's just for the main event.
And Josh, so and there was another fight that we did. Who'd you had Cruz too, Khalid, right?
Yeah, I had Cruz by decision. Yeah.
Okay. And Josh, you had Roy the Cowboy. You had Ferguson as well, Josh.
I don't think I had that pick.
Huh?
I don't think I made that pick.
Yeah, I don't think you made that pick. You made picks on 2. I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. All right.
How would Cahuta win the fight?
By knockout.
Then I'll take Cahuta. I was hoping to say by knockout. Okay. Because if it's Cruz versus submission, I'll take a knockout over submission.
Cruz is not going to submit him. Cruz is going to win by decision if he wins. He can't submit him.
I'll take Cahuta by knockout.
All right, but funny that you said that, Josh. Interesting. You got on the main card. This right here. This, huh?
Who do you have, Cahuta or Cruz?
Oh no, I looked at the line earlier and I said Cruz. I said Cruz off the top. I said Cruz. Oh yeah, but this fight right here though. This fight, if all works, this fight right here could be something nasty. The odds are low, mind you. This is kind of where you can just throw your money at these guys if you really know. Greg Hardy, he's at -175. He's facing Yogan De Castro. Guys, Yogan De Castro is actually from the area in which I reside now. He is from Fall River. He was actually, from what I know, because I don't know much about him, he was a security guard at the local high school, Durfee High School. This guy here, he had a nasty fight. The last time I seen him fight, it was nasty. And, I mean, I don't know if the city of Fall River knows him all that well, but they're going to be watching him tonight. With nothing to watch, you better go be watching this man. Everybody in Fall River better go, too. But Greg Hardy, I can say for how his career has been so far in the UFC, it hasn't been disappointing. You can kind of see him move up, but at the same time, it's kind of flat right now. This is a kind of fight tonight for him. It's either it's going to bring him down or it could keep him, where he is or up. I mean, it's going to be a good one, though. It's pretty interesting.
They're trying to move him slow, I think. Yeah,
they're trying to move. At first, I felt like they was trying to move him fast, but I feel like that's the way to go. The way to move is move him evenly. Like he doesn't need all that buildup. I feel like him personally, like him being built up early, like they try to do, with everything that he went through before UFC, it kind of beckoned him. In some fights, you're probably thinking all this stuff. I feel like since they've kind of slowed him, it's been more. You see more of a better fighter.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's probably learning to get more technical right now.
Yeah,
which is what I work on.
Yeah.
What do you like in that fight there?
Definitely a physical specimen. So, I would, and also there's one more fight on this card, which is Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin.
And I got upset alert. Kata or upset alert. We're going to talk about that.
That's a huge fight. That fight's amazing. Probably the best fight that no one's talking about.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with I haven't seen Jorgen fight. I've only seen Greg fight. So this is a very blind type pick. But I'm gonna go with Greg Hardy. And I'm going to say that he's going to get a knockout. First round.
Whoa. Greg, Josh, who you got?
I'm going to go Jerry Jones. I'll take Hardy.
You take Hardy?
You going to take your man Jorgen?
This is what I was kind of after his last performance. You know, he knocked somebody out. After his last performance, I was sitting there like, "Ooh, maybe he is, man." And I'm out here. I lived here for a couple years. You know what I'm gonna do tonight? I'm gonna amp up. I'm gonna amp up Yogan tonight. I'm gonna amp him up tonight. I'm gonna say, despite I like Greg Hardy. I like him a lot. I told myself the next time he fights, and it's sad because I said the next time he fights, Yogan fight, I'm gonna pick him to win. And then I seen the card and I said he fight Greg Hardy. Oh no, I can't change my pick though. I'm gonna go Castro.
Nice. So we've got a nice split there. We got Josh and I picking Hardy. You're picking Castro.
I'm gonna go to Castro. I feel like Greg Hardy's gonna have to go through this stuff where he's gonna be fighting
better.
You gotta be overall smart. Like, this is not like the NFL where you gotta play your part of the field. Like, This is you all about. You have to play all parts, and maybe he'll get it tonight. If Greg does win, he deserves to win. You know, I want him to go as high as he can go as a UFC fighter, but I'm gonna go Fall River tonight. They'll be happy to see guy from Fall River get the dub. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, I don't know how much noise I'm gonna hear out here when he wins. You know, because he's gonna win, guys. You know, it's gonna be exciting, man. So I'm gonna go De Castro.
Nice. And
hey, I got a question about a fight. Hold on, I got a question about the undercard for a second before we go there.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
We got one female fight tonight, and I'd like your thoughts on this one.
Okay. So it's Carla Esparza versus Michelle Waterson, and Carla Esparza is very wrestling background, very wrestling based. Puts together strikes, but nothing. Esparza's never overwhelming when she strikes. It's always just a constant kind of grinding the opponent down over rounds with her wrestling that she does, right? Michelle Waterson is dangerous on the feet. So Michelle could knock out Carla on the feet, right?
Ooh.
Question is, can Carla control Michelle and spend enough time in superior positions on the ground to win the fight, right? I don't know if that's the case. I'm going with Michelle, the underdog on this, actually. And I'm going to say by knockout.
I mean, the way you made Michelle seem, like I said, honestly, this is a pick 'em for me. Hold on.
But and Michelle's fought. She's She's experienced. She's fought all the top girls, you know. And so I don't think she's gonna go in there knowing what Carla's gonna do. Her coaches are literally telling her, "Yeah, Carla's gonna come and shoot this way. She's gonna grab you this way. She's gonna blank this way," right? So if they're prepared, I think Carla is a pretty simple puzzle to figure out, to be honest.
Definitely. I mean, I was a picker for me because honestly, I haven't watched none of these girls fight. I was intrigued by the first fighter, and then I heard the second fighter, and I'm like, that's a better fit description for me. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna go Wheeler too. I'm gonna go Wheeler.
When everybody goes one way, I go the other way. So give me Carla.
Carla, all right.
Go the other way. That's what I always say.
I mean, hey, it's the fight we witnessed a few months back. Never gonna be a fight that touches that. But I mean,
that was possibly the most entertaining UFC fight I've ever seen in my life. Forget male, forget female, forget anything. Like, it was for me. It was the closest to Triple G and Alvarez. When it was just like nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop.
Right? Yeah. Nonstop. It was the closest. I mean, I hope we get a second one of those fights. That would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
It wasn't the best, most entertaining ladies UFC fight I've ever seen. It's possibly the most entertaining UFC fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones I ever saw. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So like, Cutler, Jeremy Stevens, man. Like off the bat, like I said, this is a fight like Khalid said people ain't talking about, and somebody getting fucked up tonight, and Jeremy Stevens gonna get his ass whooped tonight. I'm calling right now. I said it. This is an upset. This is gonna go one way, guys. I'm telling y'all. If you're betting tonight, the money on Cutler. Telling you.
Oh yeah.
Put it on.
Oh. Yo, and if you guys are you doing draft?
Am I doing DraftKings? I want to. I mean, like I said, first time I just went on today. I think I'm intrigued. I got a couple dollars in there. I might have to put something up.
Yeah, I guess just I wanted to let you in on the fights on the early prelims too.
Yeah,
because they count just as much as the main card.
Oh yeah, they do.
So,
but can I ask a technical question real quick? Can I ask you a technical question real quick before I forget?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Jeremy Stevens and his record 28-17-0, and then it says 1 NC.
No
what
contest.
does NC stand for?
No contest.
No contest. Why would they call it a no contest?
If something happens where the fight can't continue, right? For some reason, it could be an injury, it could be something else, but it wasn't a disqualification, right? And there wasn't a clear winner, so they put it as a no contest. So when something confusing happens, where the fight can't go on, but the rule set hasn't been broken in a disqualifying way. Yeah, like, well, no. Usually, if you have too much blood bleeding, then they stop the fight. The other guy wins. But a no contest is a no contest rarely happens. Rarely happens.
So
it's usually
when Khabib
like an accidental eye poke, right? I accidentally poke you in the eye. You can't continue, but you're not going to give the win to me, right? So it's a no contest.
So, like, when Khabib and McGregor had that riot, right? The fight was already over, so Khabib had already won. That's why it's a no contest.
No, that's a fight.
Well, that's a fight. That's a win. That's Khabib.
That's a win.
Let's put it like this, Josh.
Let's
put it like this, Josh. Let's put it like this in simple terms. We go into a fight, Josh. You have your appendix busting the ring, Josh, before we even start the fight. That's a no contest.
No contest.
Interesting.
Because realistically,
sorry for interrupting. I really didn't know the answer to that. That's really fascinating.
You didn't expect for that to happen. It just happened. I mean, it can happen in other cases too, but that's a simple. That's the.
If I get kicked in the balls, if I get kicked in the dick, right? Seriously.
I don't know.
That's a no contest.
No, because sometimes that swings in the way of you losing the fight. Because as a man, they say you're supposed to get up for them type of shots, unless you bust a ball, literally. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm unable to continue, right?
It's a no contest. Exactly.
It'd be considered no contest. Okay, thank you.
I'm like, yo, Judge, he should be strong enough. I got the win. Nah, man. But,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. But we need insight. We need insight on a couple of these low range before we get into. I got a final question I want to ask since we got Khalid here, so because we got about we got some minutes left, so I want to hear about some of these low cards, man, so I could potentially make some money on.
Exactly. So on the bottom here, we've got. Let's just go all the way to the bottom, actually. Let's go to the early prelims, because this is where you make your money, is when no one else knows what's going on. Oh, shit. Okay. Look, the first fight on the whole card, on the early prelims at 6:30, is Ryan Spann versus Sam Alvey.
Sam Alvarez?
Sam Alvey.
Okay.
Ryan Spann versus Sam Alvey. Now, I have not watched Ryan Spann yet, but he's a massive favorite on the betting odds. He's minus 450, and Sam Alvey's plus 325. Sam Alvey's the dude. He's called Smiling Sam Alvey. He's always smiling. He's walking out. He's always has a big smile on his face. Yeah, and he knocks people out. Like, I've seen Sam Alvey knock people out, like a lot of people who I didn't realize he was going to knock out. So I don't know this guy Ryan Spann. I'm assuming he's really good. So I want to look into him for a second first. But what I do know is that this is an overvaluation at 325, at plus 325 and minus 450.
Hell yeah. This might be the biggest,
right?
Since what we read so far, this might be the biggest, this might be the most lopsided.
And so many people aren't going to make bets on that too. So
nobody knows. A lot of people don't know that Sam Alvey's really good, and he can knock you out, right, or submit you. So just one thing to consider, because the way you win on DraftKings is by picking something that no one else did.
Yeah, exactly.
Not by picking the same winners as everyone else.
Pick the same winners, right? That's the thing about DraftKings. You gotta pick some. It's always gotta be that in the loop person, like on the low. It's the only way you win.
Yes.
It's the only way you win in jealousy drafting is you gotta have that underscore. You can have 4 of the same people, but you gotta have 4. You gotta have 4 unique. You gotta have 4 unique situations go on. I understand. That's a good point.
Exactly. So if Sam Alvey scores a big knockout or a big finish, and you pick him and no one else did, right? Then that's really good. You know, most people didn't pick that. Pick Sam Alvey.
Yes.
The second fight is Bryce Mitchell versus Charles Rosa. Both of these guys have really good ground games. This fight, I don't think this fight is going to have a finish. I think it's going to be a decision. And I think that these guys might cancel each other out. So this is not really the best place to bet. Right? Okay, now let's go up to the prelims. We're trying to figure out the places where there's opportunity here. Now Vicente Luque versus Nico Price. Okay?
Yep. I'm
just going to let you know, dude, Vicente Luque is nasty. He's freaking nasty. I love this guy. But he shouldn't be minus 280. Nico Price is really good. Nico Price is really durable, has good submissions, has good striking, and can upset people. Nico Price finished a dude with strikes off of his back. He's the only person to finish a person with strikes off of his back.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
Beast mode.
So that's crazy. So I think a shocking one would be picking Nico Price and having Nico pull an upset. That would be another amazing one, right? And then you go up, and you have, you could pick Michelle Waterson, Carla Esparza. Even though I said I like Waterson better, they are more even. So I don't think it's the best one to bet on. People aren't confusing the betting odds enough, right? No. So I think they are confusing the betting odds with Vicente Luque and Nico Price. I think they are confusing the betting odds with
Spann and Alvey?
Yeah, exactly. They're missing it up there. And then when we go up here, let's go to Alexei Oleinik. So you have two of your matches you can bet on there. You have Alexei Oleinik and Fabricio Verdum. Okay. Fabricio Verdum is minus 320, and I think he should be a minus 320. I think Fabricio Verdum is going to win this fight. Right? He takes away every advantage that Alexei Oleinik has in this fight. So I think that is actually a fair valuation of him being minus 320. Right? So you could bet on Fabricio Verdum just to get a winner, to be in the winner's pool.
That's crazy, dog. So I wrote these down, man. You know what I'm saying? Couple fights.
Right? So you got bet on Fabricio Verdum. You're betting on Nico Price. You're betting on Sam Alvey, right? And now we go up, and let's look at the last fights. We had Anthony Pettis and Donald Cerrone, right? I don't think betting on that one really makes much sense. It's a toss-up, and Pettis is favored, so it doesn't really get you much. right? So now let's go to the main card. So right now you have 3 selected matches. You need 2 more. Okay, let's go to the main card.
I got my 2. I got Cruz, and I got Damn. I got Cruz, and there was another one. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
There was another one. Hold on a second. I was just here. Cruz and Kata.
And Qatar. Okay, I like that. I love that. I think that's great. I think that's a very good card. Cruz and Qatar. That's good. I really like that. You can make some upsets with that card.
Yes. Go back. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so we only got a few minutes left here, man. You know, we appreciate
I gotta bring something up really quickly. I read this on TMZ. Evander Holyfield says he's ready to come back into the ring.
Well, Mayweather's going to fight. McGregor's going to fight Oscar De La Hoya. So.
Dog, leave Oscar from Conor. Leave Oscar alone, and Oscar just leave it alone. That doesn't. I
think Conor's thinking, man, I lasted 10 rounds with Mayweather, and I felt pretty good for a while. Maybe I can beat Oscar up, you know.
Here's the thing. Shout out to all the old fellas. You know, shout out to all the old OGs trying to come back, make comebacks and stuff like that. Now, Mike Tyson kind of, didn't start the trend, but, resurfaced this when Mike Tyson said, hey, I want to come back into boxing. Mike Tyson wants to be in a charity bout. He's training for a charity bout. Guys, if you want to come back for charity bouts and, you know what I'm saying, and things, go ahead.
Yeah, that makes sense. But charity bouts are great.
Conor McGregor versus Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, do not. Oscar, I repeat, do not. Oscar.
This is the question I want to ask you guys. Please. This is the question I want to ask you guys.
Yeah.
We can bring back one old school UFC fighter for one match. Who do you want to see come back? And I'll go first because I would like to see if one come back. It'd be nice to see Anderson Silva.
Yeah, Anderson Silva's fun to watch.
I'd watch that. Who would you like to see them come back?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Ian Velasquez.
Ooh, good choice.
I'm gonna be real, man. I see these 2 fighters come back, and they're probably not, crazy names, but I'm gonna say 3 actually. But take whoever. I'll tell you who my main one, honestly, who I want to come back. I was a Rampage guy. Me personally, I was a Rampage guy.
Yeah.
And then I also was a Rashad Evans guy. That was my guy. Rashad Evans was my guy.
Yeah.
And I'll bring back the world's dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Crazy. Ken Shamrock. Guys, I'm heavy on wrestling. He's had a match recently on Impact. He just had a great match. They kind of put the storytelling on it. Like I said, I was watching WrestleMania. I don't know if you guys are watching. They had the Boneyard match between AJ Styles and Undertaker, kind of like a storytelling theme type matchup, and that was kind of like how the Ken Shamrock match was, and he was able to get a win, man. He looked good, for what they put him in, and hey, man, so.
I'll give you one more. I'd like to see Ronda Rousey come back.
No.
No.
Hey, don't you bet to Ronda. I like Ronda. Ronda's my dog. Everybody know I'm a Doug,
hold on, Doug. You guys have to get that clip with just Doug going like, I want to see Ronda Rousey come back, and Daquan be like, no.
No. And Ronda's. I mess with Ronda. This is what Ronda did. I want people. I'm not nobody. This goes to all fighters. Just not female fighters. Ronda, for what the females division was before her, they was trying to pave their way.
Yeah.
She was the person that, you could say broke the ice, paved the way, with everything she did. That doesn't mean that she is a good UFC fighter. She paved the way. So we paved the way. You fought opponents that, were trying to pave the way too.
Yeah.
UFC is a lot more tougher now. That ladies division is so much tougher now. If Ronda Rousey was ever to get back in there, I would say this right now, it would be her last one. It would be her last one.
Yeah. Like Chris Cyborg. Oh. It'd be horrible.
Khalid, who would you like to see come back?
Yeah, it was horrible when Nunes did it.
Yeah, Nunes, like her last
you
couple
don't want
fights.
To see that again. Like Ronda getting knocked out on her feet is not fun.
It's not fun because we like Ronda. I like Ronda, so I don't want to see Ronda. I don't want to see Ronda in that circumstance because she's
doing a wrestling thing anyways. So
right. She need to be that, and she ain't even fight. I don't even think she's gonna do wrestling no more. She doing podcasts from her crib, video games.
Yeah, she's doing content. She's producing content.
She's gonna be in movies.
Yeah.
Khalid, who would you like to see come back? Or like a charity event?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe like Rashad Evans or somebody like that.
Yeah, because Rashad Evans is my guy. Like Rampage, Rashad Evans, like those are guys. Like when I was really watching UFC at that time, after them, I kind of took a hiatus for like years. Like so, I only knew about fighters that the media was hyping up and talking about. Now since I'm back talking about you get back to the regular stream. All the people that's necessarily not as media struck. As others, what I'm saying? You get to the guys that are really grinding for opportunities to be in prime fights and winning all this and that. Which leads me, not in the terms of young, but this leads my last question of the segment. And like I said, we haven't been together to talk about this in a minute, but the potential fight, I feel like the potential fight will happen. The only way it won't happen is if this guy, of course, as he's done in his career, mess up opportunities, he's able to get him back. Jon Jones, Israel Anderson Silva. It's gonna happen. I don't care what nobody says. It's gonna happen. Whenever it happens, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge fight.
Is that kind of like a match that you say is easily like passing the torch? Anderson Silva will win. Or you just kind of like saying to yourself, like, Jon Jones will be on the top of the throne until Jon Jones decides that he doesn't want to be on the top of the throne no more. Because that's one or two things I feel like.
Or he destroys it for himself.
I mean, hey, we've literally tried to see him do that. I think that's the only thing that can stop him.
What do you want? Tell
me. Yeah, I mean, I think... when I look at the skills, I think if you give Israel a couple more years, he's going to beat Jon. But I think if they fought right now, I think Jon would win. And the reason why I think Jon would win is I think Jon would make a conscious plan to take Israel down and to use these techniques where Israel can't really get the range he wants that he's used to on opponents. Because Israel's used to having long range, right? He's not used to having some guy like Jon Jones whose arms are like a foot longer than his whole body. You know what I mean? Like, this dude, Jon Jones, can literally just stick his arm out and put it on your forehead, and you can't punch him. You know what I mean?
He's a man, dog.
He can just post his hand. You can't punch him, and then he can throw an elbow and do whatever he wants, So I think Israel would need to catch Jon. I don't see Israel beating Jon over 5 rounds. I see Israel catching Jon.
He got to catch him early. He got to get him, like, at some point, he got to get him. Like, it has to be magic.
It has to be the first 2 or 3 rounds to me. He's got to catch him with something. And he can't give Jon enough time where he gets taken down or where Jon starts to push him against the fence and start to fight clinch with him again.
You have to be similar to what Tyson Fury did to Deontay Wilder.
He has to do exactly. He needs to make John back up.
Exactly. You need to make him back up. You need to pull exactly. You have to step into him like Tyson stepped into Deontay Wilder.
And the key is to step into him in open space, not where you're pushed up against anything.
I think what happened, and it was more. I don't think in the Fury Wilder fight. I don't think it was more Fury like attacking and backing up. I think it was more Fury kind of taking the series approach in terms of like the entertainment series approach. Because I mean, Tyson Fury wanted to go in the ring and be an entertainer and box. He could do it. I feel like in the first fight, I feel like he went a little bit entertainish, and then when the fight got serious, he couldn't turn back on that boxer mentality.
Yeah.
In this fight, he used the entertainment mentality in the WWE and went on to the WWE and fought a event. But on the boxing side, he took it very seriously. So he went in that ring. He not only did what he did in the first fight, half of it, he kept it. Because he seen it. And he knew the opportunity the first time he lost. He knew that opportunity because he was entertainment-wise. Not because he was foolish. It's entertainment part. You know what I'm saying? And it gets people like that. A guy like him that, wants to entertain people, but as well as craft his job, be the best he can at his job. So, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of that third fight, the third fight, it's gonna be one to watch because it's gonna be unpredictable. Wilder's gonna have to. I mean, Wilder's obviously gonna have to come back from that. He's gonna be the extreme underdog, and I feel like this time right now, given that they have extra time now, I feel like he has that preparation and time to, you know what I'm saying, to get right. And Deontay, honestly, he's not really a media type guy. You see him in the media, but he's not really in it. See more Tyson.
No.
He needs this time to be humble. He needs this time.
No.
I think that fight's gonna be way different in the third one. I don't think Fury's just gonna go in there and go beat Wilder's ass, but potentially, I think a 5% chance it may not happen at all.
Yeah, that could not happen.
It may not happen at all, and if it doesn't, then that's what it is. Fury deserves everything that was given to him, but
yeah.
I mean,
what needs to happen is you gotta do at some point Joshua versus Fury.
Nah, see, people jumping to that. People's jumping to that. People are jumping to Fury Joshua, and I'm gonna keep it real.
But it's nice because they're both great brands. That's what I'm saying.
We're not gonna talk about Klitschko. What has Joshua done? What has Joshua done to deserve that? We're talking about Tyson Fury here, a guy that, you know what I'm saying, that's his story is incredible. What has Joshua done? Joshua needs a fight, and Joshua was scheduled to fight somebody, I believe June 1st. William Hill, I believe. I just don't, right now at this point, I mean, you give it to Wilder because of, that trilogy aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Wilder gave Fury so much when Fury was trying to come back. Wilder was able to say, hey, I'll dance with you. So Wilder deserves that third bout, but if he doesn't get it, it doesn't automatically go to Joshua. I feel like it's gonna. I'm thinking somewhere somehow, honestly, in my mind. I think I thought after this fight that this happened, I thought Joshua should fight Wilder. I thought Joshua should fight Wilder.
And the winner of that fights Tyson Fury.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. I like that a lot.
Yes, I think absolutely, because both you say Wilder would deserve because of the trilogy aspect, but what has Joshua really done to deserve that fight? Now he's a heavyweight champion in a few different divisions. Shout out to him, but what has he done? Annie Louise literally snickered you out, and you had to win that last one. You had to win. Deontay Wilder necessarily, keep it real, didn't have to win the last fight against Fury. Didn't have to win.
No. Yeah.
That draw that happened, that knockout that happened when Wilder knocked out Fury was
a win.
Great for Wilder. It was a draw, but it was a win. So it's technically 1-1.
Because of the way he finished the fight.
The way he finished the fight, because the entertainment aspect got Wilder.
People know that if the fight had gone, well, I mean, Fury. I don't know how Fury recovered, first of all, but like, it basically let people know it's like you're going to be in trouble if you go all 12 rounds with this guy.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Got that liquor in the system. One thing, I don't know, probably I'm lying, but if anybody know anybody that drink extreme alcohol or somebody that's in an alcohol state of mood, best thing to do is slap them, punch them right in the face. And regardless if they don't know who did it, they gonna get up. And when Tyson got knocked out like that, he knew he got hit. He knew he was gonna get up. He knew if he didn't get up from that, it was over for him.
Yeah. Take
that shit and get up. He got up. It's crazy, guys. But appreciate you guys coming in today, man. As always, we gotta do a lot more of this, Probably gotta do a few other shows before the weekend ends, man. Honestly, it's crazy.
Absolutely. We always like to end our show with a little good news. But before going into good news, we'd like to just again thank Kaleem for joining us for some insight about the UFC. So, Kaleem, what's your good news for the day? You got any good news for us?
We all exist, and we're here.
I like that. Come on, you got some good news?
Yeah, I got some good news. My shirt presser came in, and I'm about to start making shirts. You feel me?
Nice.
Yeah, Watt's gonna have some shirts.
So, it just looks so easy, guys. Like, not to toot my own horn, but I went on YouTube, like, listened to instructionals. It just kind of looks like you just get crafted until you just get started, and then once you perfect it, you perfect it. It's kind of really no right or wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just, be careful. Don't burn yourself.
And I actually have some good news. Some really good news. Anyone that knows me, and I think I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast here before, knows my brother is a very interesting person.
Who's he getting married to now?
No, good question. But according to my mom, he had this one class he wasn't sure about. He's actually gonna graduate college next week.
Oh, snap. Wow.
Which for him is a huge step.
And go back to Mexico. Hopefully he don't go back to Mexico.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Hopefully he don't go back to Mexico.
He's going to marry some woman and give it all away.
Nah, that's good stuff, man. That's excellent stuff. Hey, happy early Mother's Day to both your mothers.
Absolutely.
And everybody else, that's you.
I'm glad you said that, because right now is a difficult time for people. A lot of people are having a difficult time being out there, being able to see their family. Make sure you reach out to your mother either by phone or by Facebook Messenger or some video platform and wish them a happy Mother's Day. I asked my mom, I said, Ma, what do you want for Mother's Day? And she said toilet paper.
I wish my mom was like I wish my mom was like that. I wish my mom was like that. She want the things that she thinks grows on trees.
Like paper.
But toilet paper is really made. Toilet paper is really made at right, exactly. Take the toilet paper. Shit.
But for the Orson and Watt podcast, I'm Josh.
Mr. Watt signing off.
Peace and love.
Y'all be cool, man. Appreciate y'all.
See you later, guys.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.